after all that sun. Well, joining me now is the director of Net Zero Watch, Andrew Montford. Andrew, we're all celebrating this wonderful sunshine. We don't get enough of it in Britain. But there are serious consequences, aren't there, if we continue to rely on renewable energies?
Yeah, well, we've had this report today that there are issues with some of the technologies associated with net zero in hot weather. I don't think I would sort of attach too much importance to this. I mean, compared to the ordinary problems that net zero technologies bring, I mean, this is just, if you like, the icing on the cake or something, you know, or the straw that broke the camel's back, perhaps. You know, I mean, the net zero is, you know, it's central planning writ large, isn't it? I mean, you know, we know from, you know, a century of experience that central planning doesn't work, and centrally planning the energy system clearly isn't working either. We have the most expensive electricity in the Western world, and yeah, if it's going to start going wrong in hot weather, well, yes, you know, that's just going to make things worse. But yeah, let's look at the big problems, I think, is what I would say.
I think people are concerned about potentially temperatures heating up. It does feel as if Britain is hotter than perhaps it was a few decades ago. But do you think we are overestimating the consequences of this? I mean, it's certainly true that far more people die of cold each year, about 10 times actually die of cold each year, than they do of high temperatures. So should we be worrying about this as much as we do?
No, we really shouldn't be worrying about this at all. I mean, what you say about deaths from cold as compared to deaths from high temperatures is absolutely right. The really surprising thing about that is also true in countries that we think of as hot places. So more people die of cold in India and Australia than die of heat in India and Australia, for example. Yeah, temperatures always change, and they change over decades, they change over centuries, entirely naturally. And humans are very, very good at adapting. We adapt incredibly quickly. You know, if we get a run of dry years, farmers will change to slightly different crops. You know, but you know, we don't actually need to panic and wreck our economy. You know, we don't need to trash the way we live simply because it's a degree warmer. I mean, this is utter madness, and we are in the grip, essentially, of a millenarian cult, and you know, they are taking us towards disaster. We've seen the economy has deindustrialized at the most incredible pace. We're left with almost nothing now, and what we are left with looks like it's going to shut down over the next few years. This is not a sensible response to a change of a degree and a little bit over the last 40 years. I mean, that's madness.
Now, Andrew, in theory at least, renewable energy sources should be low cost. I mean, the sun is free, wind is free. Do you think they should be part of our energy mix? And if so, how should we better utilise them so that we have more security and that we do drive costs down?
No, we absolutely should not be using them. The reason is that... Absolutely at all. No, we want no wind and we want no solar. These are absolutely terrible forms of energy. Yes, they have no fuel costs, but the capital costs are enormous, and the cost of dealing with the intermittency is catastrophic. And you know, we're finding this out now. This is why we have such expensive electricity. I mean, there is this myth doing the rounds that it's something to do with gas prices. Gas prices have come down again. You know, they're back to where they were 5 or 6 years ago. You know, until at least they were until a week ago when the war in Iran took off. But you know, the big changes that we've seen over the last 10 years are down to net zero policies. The big changes in electricity prices. It's all down to dealing with intermittency. And the big one is subsidies to renewables, and that is only going to get worse. We can expect electricity prices to keep going up, but we're doing this bonkers thing where we're trying to get people to use heat pumps and electric cars that run off this form of energy that is getting more and more expensive. And it's not a straight line increase. It's going to start accelerating as well. You know, this is, again, absolutely bonkers. Do we want to have manufacturing industry in this country? Because if we carry on the way we are, there will be none, absolutely none.
Andrew Montford, thank you so much for joining me.